Hi there, I'm Stacy, the Encaustic mixed media artist behind Studio Stacy. Welcome to Vlogmas Day 21. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Today I thought it would be fun to use this little carving tool and to carve into some of the wax. I haven't used this tool yet. I got it from fineartstore.com if you're interested in it. That's where you can find a lot of the tools, encaustic wax, and various different things that I use. But at any rate, I thought it would be fun to try this today, so I'm going to build up a bunch of encaustic paint layers onto one of these just papers that I have. It's a watercolor paper and it's got some ink and already has some caustic paint on it, things like that. But I'm going to continue to build up the layers so that I have something to carve into. I'm also going to switch my heat gun out back there for the torch. I've been doing a lot of work with the heat gun, mainly because I've been working with some highly flammable things like the roving and things like that. And while I'm still going to be working on paper, my plan is to put several layers of encaustic paint down so it won't be as flammable. I feel like I have much better control with the torch than I do with the heat gun. So that's what I'm going to switch it out to. I know the heat gun is great if you have flammable material. So just word of caution here, if you are using paper and you have a torch, be very, very careful and put it on a very low flame and make sure you have plenty of encaustic medium down first, which I do.
Since I'm resetting up my torch, I thought I would show you the setup. So the torch is a Bernzomatic TS3500. That's the torch I use. And I have this cord, if you will, or hose, and that hooks on to the Bernzomatic propane tank. And the reason I use this cord instead of just putting the torch right onto the tank is it's a little bit lighter. Honestly, these tanks get a little bit heavy, especially if I'm working on large pieces. And I'm going to be, using that torch, waving that torch around the painting a lot. The hose is a lot lighter, but there's a hook then that comes with this hose kit. And I hook the tank then underneath my work table, and it works out really nicely. It doesn't impede on the flame or the amount of flame that I get out. And then, of course, the other end of the hose goes right on to the torch. And like I said, it works great. It doesn't affect the flame or the quality of the flame, the temperature of the flame, anything like that. And I can still turn the torch kind of somewhat completely vertical or a little bit more upside down. It works out really, really nicely. Again, I'm turning this way down because I'm working on paper and I don't want anything to catch on fire. So always safety first. I'm going to be applying several layers of encaustic medium and then a couple layers of encaustic paint, some white paint, going back and forth between the white paint, encaustic medium, and colored encaustic paint. So I'm going to let you sit back and enjoy this portion of the video. And if I think of anything else to say, I'll interject. But for now, I'm going to stop yammering on. Enjoy.
have all of the layers down on this piece that I'm going to put down. And what I think I'm going to do, because my drip tray is rather full, while I carve into this, I'm going to put the drip tray up onto the griddle and let that melt down into either a brown or some sort of a gray color. I then recycle that wax and use it as a brown or gray color later on. Eventually, what I think I might do, I need to get some more little tiny bread tins, but eventually when I get tired of kind of making these browns and grays, which by the way you can always use. I found I use them all of the time. So at any rate, I'm rambling, but I think what I'm eventually going to do is have a tray for just yellows, reds, and oranges, maybe like warmer tones, and then a tray for cooler tones, the blues and the greens, and see what kind of custom colors I can make that way. But for now, I'm still making browns and grays. All right, while I was talking about these custom gray colors, I thought I'd pull out my gray and black box here of paint. And so some of these are labeled. They have these little sleeves on them. So this was made out of Payne's Gray oil paint. And then this was made out of earth pigments. So this is their pewter gray color. And then of course I have the commercial paints that I can buy at the art stores and things like that. And those have their, wraps around them. But what I wanted to show you was anything that I don't have labeled, like this color, for example. It's not labeled because I have no idea how I made it. It just was made from the drip tray, and who knows how many billions of colors went into it. So there's this kind of pretty gray color. Then I have this purple grayish, another gray, and then this is kind of a green gray color, and another bluish gray. So these are kind of ones that who knows what colors went in to make them. I just melted the drip tray down. But at any rate, and because I have no idea how I made these, they're not labeled, like I said, but I'm not real concerned about running out of color because these last a while. Now, if I was doing a huge series and I wanted to make sure I maintained the color across the board in the series, I probably wouldn't start with one of these colors or use one of these colors necessarily because I have no idea how they're made. So anyways, just wanted to show you that little gray box there.
Because I've been rambling on about making custom gray and brown colors, this panel cooled off a little bit, so I'm just going to heat it up really lightly with the torch before I start scraping into it. I'm going to stop rambling for most of the rest of this video, I think, anyways, and let you sit back and enjoy. But if you have any questions at all, definitely drop them down below in the comment box. I am happy to answer anything, or if you just want to say hi, I'd love to say hi.
I wanted to show you I have these scrapings from obviously scraping into this. And so that no wax goes to waste, I also stick them in this little pot here, and I will show you shortly what color this turns out to be. Right, here is the result of that little experiment. I don't think this is anywhere close to being done, but I'm definitely really liking this tool. The pointy tip on it, see if I can get this camera to focus here, is really nice for getting little lines. And then the scoop, kind of, you can scoop out thicker areas or bigger areas. So I'm really liking the tool. I think it'll be really, really nice and fun little experiment. Like I said, I don't think it's anywhere near done. In fact, I really don't like it, but that's okay. So while I was finishing up that, this has pretty much melted. And well, it kind of looks a bit like mud. And there's a good reason for that. These primary colors here pretty much make mud for the most part. But at any rate, I think it's pretty. I think I can definitely use it in a painting, and mud can be pretty too. All right, because I really wasn't happy with it, I decided to make a couple tweaks. So I think I wasn't happy with it because I'm not the biggest fan of yellow, strangely enough. I like it much better now that there's a little less yellow. I added some blue, covered up some of those yellow with some white wax, added some blue pastel over it, and I think I like it a lot better. I'm gonna try to get you some close-ups if the camera will focus in here for me of some of these line areas, specifically in here, if I can get in there a bit. I hope you can see that in the video, but it's a pretty cool tool and a fun little technique to play around with. All right, I do believe this is where I'm going to leave you for the day. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you guys know by now. I don't know why I keep saying it, but it does help me. So thumbs up if you did enjoy the video. It really does help me out. If you're not subscribed and would consider doing so, that would also help me out. We will see you tomorrow for more Vlogmas. Hope you enjoy the evening. We'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.